This is engineered light that is on my living room wall, and you're seeing still images of what is not even the sunrise yet. So like I said, this is engineered light, it's not sunlight. In addition to the ongoing evidence that I have, again, of a sunrise occurring in an entirely different location, never gonna be over the hillside. You also know that this isn't a sunrise because it's also the sunset is also seen through the same apartment window. But I want you to see how concentrated this light is. You can see it on the wall. You can see my shadow as I'm walking at a distance away from it. This is what P.O.C was doing, by the way. P.O.C of 1810 #1, a demon who's group stalking, and as she walks by me outside, her shadow was moving across the brick wall of building 1810. While the light source, by the way, at the end of the day, nearest 4:30 p.m., and that light source is still over the same property. This is the same property I'm at 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6, and this is before even the sunrise. I want to be clear, it's 6:37 in the morning, okay? That is not sunlight that's going to occur. You have what's supposed to be the hint of a sunrise that's coming, and you still have what is piercing light. It has nothing to do with an actual sunlight. That's not light, that's the engineered light that I'm letting you know about, that you're witnessing all the time. I just wanted you to see this, because this is how powerful that light is, and this is what the entity is molesting your body with. They're going to be prosecuted as sex offenders and terrorists, while the demon-possessed population maintain this light at all places and at all times, day and night. All right, you're just talking about different colors in an environment, and you're conditioned to assign it. Well, you don't even pay attention to it, but if you do look at it, or what you're looking at, you're conditioned to assign it. Oh, that's sunlight, and oh, that's a lamp light, and this is not normal light. Normal light does not create this sort of magnification. I am standing near my window. I'm over here. Okay, the living room is my wall is way over here. And that's my shadow that's appearing upright. Okay, and this is through very concentrated light, and the blinds are closed. These blinds are closed. Okay, so this is the light that shows multiple shadows, and the entity does nothing other than the light bounces well, I don't want to say bounces, but the entity is aiming, this demon-possessed entity that's keeping me under surveillance, the light's just moving all around the apartment all day long. And that's just in here, in the private space, which is going to be prosecuted for being a sex offender, for it maintaining constructive presence. That's how you're going to prosecute this. For the terrorist, maintaining constructive presence inside of your private space, absent any warrant or probable cause. Engaging in what is state surveillance, and it's terrorism because it's of a demonic nature, and a government is engaging in this, sponsoring this, doing it in concert with the demons that live in relevant position. Not just those that live at Alvarado Gardens who are going to federal prison, but all of these on the hillside who are covered in what is engineered light. Okay, and that's how you know engineered light is covering all of them. It's just a different color. Engineered light, there's not even any sunrise, and you're piercing through closed blinds. That's very significant. That's very strong and intense engineered light, okay? The entity is hinting at some sunrise. There's no sunrise that's gonna be at the same property, literally on the opposite side of my apartment. No, that's 12 hours because it's 6 o'clock right now, 12 hours from now, and the sun is still at the same location. That's what you saw last night while UPS was group stalking on the property. Okay, being a sex offender, monitoring the targeted individual whom it knows is documenting it. That impunity is going to be relevant when we're assigning damages. Okay, and that's the pattern of the entity. All right, within that same exact pattern, the state is stalking by helicopter, which you saw again into the night, 11 o'clock at night, just sitting above my apartment in a helicopter. Okay, and then returning, all of them subject to what is knowledge that they have no business having, they being the secret society. Everybody knows what's going on with my tax preparation. Everybody knows what's going on with what I'm ordering with regard to groceries. Everybody knows who's even going to arrive. This is the entity that's delivering whatever you're ordering on Amazon. Everything, so understand that invasion of privacy. You don't have any privacy. These are psychopaths who are targeting you. Every aspect of your life is made known. And this is how they're engaging in what is ongoing surveillance. Not just in person, not just being criminally prosecuted for group stalking, demons who live all around you, third parties who live all around you, which is the government. This is all the government. You're going to prosecute them. It's a highly malicious system, and they're all covered in that evidence. Engineered light is appearing, and this is before, I want you to see it's before the sunrise. This, and I put that in air quotes, before the demonic imitation of what's supposed to be the light source that's rising above the sunrise, rising above the hillside, okay? And then it remains for the duration of the day, setting through my bedroom window. It is currently 6:41 a.m., and I will remind you about what is the light source in an entirely different location where the entity has, you see this engineered light touching on the trees. None of this is sunlight. This is all engineered light a demonic imitation of the natural environment. So you're understanding the reality of demon possession. You're understanding the reality of Satan, the engagement of what is mimicking the creation of God, okay? Because that's what this is. This is a demonic imitation of the natural environment. It is not the natural environment. None of this is natural light currents. And you have witnessed that, and you know this because I'm capturing a body of evidence of a sunrise happening in an entirely different location. The sun that is rising over me at the outside of 630 North Fern Avenue when I'm sleeping in a car, literally above that house, and it's aimed through the passenger side of the window, and the entity is molesting my body with light, even aiming it through what are, well, not through, you have light that's just manifesting in the back of that car when all the windows are covered up. All the windows were covered up. The entity engaging in the same pattern, stalking, molesting with impossible light activity while I slept in a car. And that's, you have the sunrise. This is already documented. There is no sunrise ever over some hillside at Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles where I'm now being targeted by the state of California. Ever. And the entity's continuous engagement in this psychotic targeting system is going to be prosecution for what are, let me be clear, prolonged time in federal prison for those that live at the target individual's place of residence because of that intolerable level of criminal facilitation in the face of evidence. Like I said yesterday, like I've reiterated over the years, the government that is targeting you, the entity that is focused on you, obsessed with you, because this is demon possession at its core. These are demons that are in positions of government, in positions of the legal system. They're in the courts, they're in the sheriff's department, they're in the police department, they work in the medical field, facilitating the entity's pattern of conduct to conceal that pattern of conduct. This is serving for criminal defamation. That's what they're there for. The demon-possessed entity are in positions to conceal this criminal system in the U.S. And that's not some unsubstantiated conspiracy theory. It's literally the pattern of conduct, and I've literally documented it. Okay, so you're talking about what is indeed a system and an entity that's being exposed and being prosecuted, because that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what we're in the process of doing. While you're looking at this is handing out a federal prosecution because none of this is the natural environment, and it's criminal facilitation of what is massive state surveillance. And this engineered light is key. It is central to it. Okay, so, and you also know their condition. Those are demons walking by with their shadows moving all around you, looking the opposite direction. And you understand that the demon possessed are very highly mentally deranged. These are ticking time bombs who don't want you to know their physical condition. And there's coming a time, and it's also relevant that this is a government that's practicing this. And it's unfortunate that it's happening in the U.S. But I want to be clear, this is a government that's engaging in. This has implications for what I want to be, with regard to what your enemy, whether you acknowledge your enemy or not, but I want to be clear, Satan, whether you acknowledge your enemy or not, is targeting you, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And it's relevant to you wherever you are. Okay. And it's a massive, and this is not to incite fear, because you see, there's nothing to fear. You're stalking me. You're concerned with me. You're obsessed with me, and I'm going to expose you and prosecute you. And I'm also advocating on behalf of those that don't have the discernment, that don't have the skill set to recognize what they're being subject to. That's why this happened to me. Okay, so I want you to understand this is a method of what is understanding what's going on in the world, but it's also those in the U.S. There are laws to enforce this, and in the natural, in the same way that the demon possessed think that they can target someone, which they can't. It was only a matter of time. As you've seen, there is nothing that is a matter of rocket science when you're looking at the sun rising and setting at the same location. That's the pattern of conduct. And then you're nothing other than an obsessed psychopath that's delusional about what are real laws that you're going to face. They're going to be enforced. Real consequences in the physical. You're nothing other than an obsessed stalker. That's exactly how you're going to be prosecuted, like any other obsessed stalker that refuses to stop. And it's not funny, but I'm just so serious. That's exactly what's happening now. Okay, so it's nothing to incite fear. It's about knowledge and understanding, opening your eyes, because this is very real as this fake sun is. It's entire demonic imitation, but it's actually there. It's actually happening. Okay, it is currently 6:45 a.m. and this is before the supposed sunrise. You're looking at the evidence for a federal prosecution of the people of the state. Let me be clear, when the entity engaged in, and that is the demon-infected law enforcement agency, flying for 47 minutes right here in alignment to me, where the same location where the demonic imitation of a sunrise is occurring. All right, the entity engaged in what is providing evidence against all of the people of the state. The entity is only doing that where the people of the state are monitoring. It's not an anomaly. These demon-possessed law enforcement agencies, they rely on the people. The state is relying on the people. It cannot do it without the people. That's why you're surrounded with what's supposed to appear as the natural environment. These demons are maintaining presence in an entirely engineered environment, and it is demonic. It is out of the pit of hell. It's in no way impervious to a federal prosecution in a very real court with very real consequences. All right, it is currently 6:46 a.m. This is P.O.C.